Welcome back to another great podcast with Earth Key English. My name is Gianluigi Nicolosi and I'm one of the co-founders of Earth Key English. Here's the other one. Alright, so today we have a really interesting podcast for you guys. We have one of our other co-founders here with us and the beautiful guest Anna, who will be talking. We will be talking about teaching kindergarten students today. All right. So before we jump into that lovely topic, please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and join our YouTube channel so you can get free content every week. We do podcasts, we do live lessons, and we have some new content and new products coming out just for you guys. Oh, sounds great. All right, so let's jump straight into this. Let's start ladies first. Anna, please could you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about where you're from?
Okay, so I'm from Canada and I came to Vietnam last year in April. So I've been here for about a year and a half.
Cool.
And I lived in Ho Chi Minh for a year teaching English. Mm-hmm. And then a year after I moved here in Hanoi. So this is my 4th month here. So still kind of new.
Okay.
And so yeah, I've been teaching English for just about a year and a half. My background is in business, completely different realm.
Oh, wow.
And I worked for the Canadian provincial government for nearly 10 years, so completely different.
I was going to say, it's completely 180 on what you're doing. Eh?
But one thing is for sure, I do love working with kids more than adults, so I think I'm in the right field, and I'm exactly where I need to be, you know?
Yeah. So, to be honest, I think most teachers will agree with you on that.
I think so.
Working with kids can be a lot easier.
Yep.
Eh? Cool, man. Thank you so much, And this lovely, handsome gentleman in the middle here. Please introduce yourself to our lovely viewers.
Okay, hello everybody. I am the other co-founder of Earth Key English and my name is Matthew Keppler. I'm originally from Durban, South Africa. We usually just surf and work and then surf again.
Very true.
So basically when I was at home, I was more in the art world and I was a designer and I worked in printing industry. So also just completely different to here in Vietnam. And now since being here for about 5 years now, quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I've just really begun to love what I do now. And teaching kids is definitely my calling that I've found.
Oh, awesome, man.
I teach very young kids, like from under 2 years old up till like 4 years old.
Sure.
And my class is just a bundle of joy. We just have fun every day, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best things about teaching kindergarten is that you get to go into class and almost be a clown for the day.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
It's rewarding. It's very rewarding.
It's very there's a lot of intrinsic reward from it as well.
Definitely.
Besides the paycheck, I mean, it's you come into these classes and you feel like invigorated in a way, and even though at the end of the day you're like super tired and you know you've got that like 1 hour left of class. Those kids put that energy in you for that last hour and really let it like go. Hey?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They've got all different kinds of ways to make you just get up and try harder. You know?
Yeah, definitely, man. So Anna, you mentioned you were working in Ho Chi Minh before coming to Hanoi.
Yeah.
What would you say is probably the biggest difference between the two cities?
I would say that it seems like the newcomers come to Ho Chi Minh first, and then they start out there, and it's not so much of a huge adjustment, I would say, from living abroad. From being in a Western world and then coming here to Southeast Asia, because it's pretty much, I would say, it's more Westernized there. And then coming here, I feel like this is the real Vietnam. Because I feel like I'm adjusting to the culture here more. It's not a bad thing. It's actually good because in Ho Chi Minh, I didn't feel like I needed to, for example, learn Vietnamese.
Yes.
But here, I feel like a lot of expats or old-timers, they've been here for 5 years or longer, and they adapt to everything, and they can speak Vietnamese. So it's just making me, really want to
Yeah,
dabble into
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And just
Yeah, well,
get
Matt, you
integrated,
can.
More
you know?
immersed.
Yeah, I mean, Matt, you
Exactly.
can speak a bit of Vietnamese.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hold a small conversation, but I'm not about to brag to you.
No, but you're pretty good.
Yeah, you're
I've
pretty
heard
good,
you.
man.
Yeah.
And even earlier when you were on the
Yeah.
phone ordering some food, I heard
Yeah,
you
see, I
speaking,
could
and I was
never
like,
do that.
what? I was
Yeah.
like, me, I'm just like,
Yeah.
yes, food outside,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
coming.
Directions, numbers,
Yes,
that's it.
yeah, I can say my address in
Yeah.
Vietnamese, and then that's like,
whatever you need to.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
just learned through need. Like I needed to buy
Yeah.
some milk, so I learned how to buy some milk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good,
Like,
man,
exactly.
good.
yeah, it's just been a growth along the
Yeah,
time.
yeah. And I think, to be honest, that's how adults tend to learn language, and that's how they automatically start learning language when they go to another country, is that survival language that you
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to
yeah.
order food, to
You
Yeah.
get
taxi.
frustrated with always having to explain yourself
Yeah.
3 times or try and use hand signals.
Yeah.
Eventually, you're just like, okay, I need to learn this,
Mm.
and you get involved.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that language
Yeah.
barrier can be tricky for some expats.
Mhm.
But again, like, if you guys are planning on traveling overseas, it's immerse yourself,
Yes.
and it's
Yeah.
actually so easy to pick up the necessities.
It
It's
is.
fun as
You
well.
just have to
It
put
is.
yourself
You
out
have
there.
a good
Yeah,
few
yeah,
giggles. When they get
Yeah.
surprised at hearing you say certain
Oh,
things,
they get such
they
a joy
really
out
enjoy
of
it, and they
yeah.
always exchange a good few giggles, so it's quite
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. No, it's really cool, man. Can you guys speak any other languages?
I can speak Tagalog
Oh,
because
cool.
my parents are from the Philippines.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Also from the Philippines.
So you grew up speaking at home.
Yeah, like we call it Taglish.
Yeah.
So yeah, intermingle the two.
Yeah.
And then I learned French for 6 years because in Canada you must learn French
Okay.
up until a certain grade, and
Yeah.
then it's no longer mandatory.
Okay.
But I did it up until grade 11. But do I speak it? What did I actually learn?
Yeah.
And that's something to keep in mind as an ESL teacher.
Mm.
You know, like we focus so much, or I guess the curriculum focuses so much on like grammar and all this stuff. But really, it's about communication. So if you can teach them how to communicate, it doesn't matter if it's a tad bit wrong, they're missing some articles or whatever.
Yeah.
Just as long as they can get their point across.
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
agree.
And going back to that immersion that we were speaking about just now, that I've found is how you can really fix little grammar points that English learners are are needing to fix and not become fossilized in their language.
Mhm.
And it's something that even myself, learning Italian, I learned Italian in South Africa. I was speaking with my father in Italian, but I was making grammatical errors.
Mm.
And every time I went to Italy, those 2 weeks that I was in Italy, those errors that I was aware of corrected themselves.
Yeah,
and I never make those
exactly.
mistakes again.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you listen and you learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's again like, as much as you sit and learn a language, if you're not exposed to it on a daily basis, there
Or
are the little
practicing
things.
it.
Or
At
practicing
least
it,
practicing, yeah.
That's why it's good to be friends with locals
Mm.
that know the language, and then you can just do a language exchange.
Yes.
Even the internet has like thousands of people who like doing language exchange just through different apps and things. People like just chatting about friendly topics
Yeah.
and learning languages together.
I don't know if you guys ever saw, there was this YouTube video, I think it was posted in like 2010 or something, but this kid was 16 years old, and he found pen pals on Facebook around the world.
Oh, wow.
By the time he was 16 years old, he was fluent in, I think, like 7 languages.
Wow.
He was speaking about 21 at the time.
Oh my goodness.
And he did this video where he would explain how he's learning all these languages, but he would switch from one language to the other as he was going through.
That's
And he
crazy.
started with like his most proficient languages, and then went to further as like the ones he's learning the newest.
Yeah.
I wish I could be that gift.
And it was amazing, man. I mean, he started
That's
pulling
crazy.
out Mandarin.
What?
And his accent was almost native.
That's
Wow.
I
crazy.
couldn't believe it. I was
That's
That is
crazy.
a
I know
hard
Mandarin.
language.
Yeah, that's
man.
really
And
difficult.
I was,
Vietnamese and Mandarin.
Yeah.
The tones is what gets
Yeah.
and I mean, I was in China when I first watched this video, and I was like, this is some
A
bull, man. Like,
16-year-old
yeah, this
is
16-year-old
topping you.
is topping
Can't
me, and I've
believe
been
it.
here like 2.5 years, and I'm still like, dway. Yeah, man.
So you were in China.
Yes, I
Okay.
was in China for about 3 years, working for a really cool company that side. They gave me a lot of training and really helped boost my teaching knowledge and school management and teacher training as well. But then, yeah, I left China. I was just like, I want something a bit more chilled out.
Yeah.
China was lovely. The food was amazing. It was really,
Yeah.
really cool.
What would you say is the biggest difference between, teaching in China and Vietnam? Because I see a lot of ESL teachers start out in China and then moving here to Vietnam.
I noticed that too,
right?
yeah.
I would say a good analogy for it would be the Chinese, teaching in China is like running a 400-meter race.
Really?
You're sprinting that race the whole time. It's just go, 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 go. While learning in Vietnam, I've noticed is more like a 5K marathon in a way.
Okay.
It's a bit more relaxed, a bit more slow going, a bit more easy. While in China, they do very much have a culture of work, learn, competition, got to be the best, got to be the best all the time.
I would have to agree with work-life balance here in Vietnam. I
Yeah.
think that's why
Excellent.
it's so attractive to so many ESL teachers because you get to do whatever you want on your own time and still work, and it doesn't feel like a marathon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's like I said, it's a 5K. It's not a like full-on 40K marathon. It's just a 5K little.
For
Yeah,
sure.
you
Cool,
work,
we're going
you're
for a run
working,
around the block or
but
something.
you know your pace.
Yeah, exactly. So I do enjoy my life here in Vietnam more. But yeah, I won't lie, I really do miss the food in China.
Yeah, it's very different. Oh, there's some food that are like
some
derived.
foods are like similar, like a lot of the
Especially here in
noodle
the
soups
north,
and the
right?
rice dishes. Yes. Especially here in the north, there's a lot of similar foods.
Yeah.
Man, the flavors that are. I was living in Sichuan province, which is
so
renowned for its
spicy,
flavors and spicy.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about
so
the
I do
only
miss the food. Yeah. But cool. So where are you guys working now? What are you doing now in Vietnam? Are you teaching kindergarten, middle school, high school?
So I'm teaching kindergarten. I have been a kindergarten teacher since I got here. And I'm at a little private school right now. So we've just got a great mix of kids in our class. We've got some Korean kids, we've got some Vietnamese kids, we've got some Canadian kids, and some English kids. So for me, it's just a whole lot of cultures coming together at one and watching them share and learn and spacing that all around English. So I'm the English teacher and we only speak English in class, and they learn, so you don't realize how much they learn from you, and just by being in an English environment. Like I've got a 3-year-old Korean kid who speaks fluent Korean and now has started speaking sentences of English to me.
Awesome.
So rewarding.
She's like asking me questions in English, asking me about my personal questions, and it's just so cool. She's only 3, and to watch her use that English to get along with friends and play games and please share your Play-Doh with me. Before she couldn't do that, so she would get upset and cry and like, oh, I don't get Play-Doh, but it's just because she didn't know how to ask her friend. So watching them be able to communicate and to be able to like express themselves. Express themselves.
It's really nice. You guys, it's like you guys have given them a medium to communicate amongst themselves because they all come from so many different cultures. Which is
I think that is the biggest thing with kindergartens is they have meltdowns because they don't know how to express that in a different way. Even if it's something small, you realize, oh, it's just because of the Play-Doh, but they don't know how to say Play-Doh. They don't know how to say, that's my Play-Doh. So they just cry. And so you have to figure out what that is.
So there are like behaviors that kind of across all cultures in a way. Like you're sad, you cry. You're angry, you cry.
It's
like
babies will be babies.
Babies will be babies no matter what. So has there been any like specific challenges with working with kids from different cultures in the same classroom?
I mean, I think the biggest challenge is some kids' English proficiency is higher than others. So how can you challenge them but also not make your lesson too difficult for the basic learners? Then, but I think it's good to have a mix because then the lower level kids can learn from the more advanced kids in the class, and that kind of helps. Even away, right?
Do you guys have any examples of things like activities you've done like that, where you've given an advanced kid something more advanced to do than others?
Our stuff are STEM based. So
STEM
learning
and sensory.
Sensory.
Sensory is a big thing with the kids that age. So like, if you've got some kids who sensory is great with adapting it. So if you've got some kids who aren't really proficient or are just too young to understand exactly the whole point behind the experiment or the activity, it gives them an opportunity to explore different textures, different colors, different objects, and then for the older kids, they get to explore that, or the kids who are just a little bit more, how can I say, just understand more of what's going on.
Yeah.
So they get a chance to explore everything that the younger kids are exploring, but also, because they are still kids at the end of the day, but they also have an objective to complete. So they need to put the colors together, or they need to build something with certain objects, or whatever it may be that you've given them. And it's normally building their like basic skills, like using scissors, using pencils, using paintbrushes,
fine motor movements,
also like figuring out basic puzzles, matching things, so that sort of thing. They always have an objective, and if the guys who don't understand so much, if they don't get it, they're still having a good time. They're still activating their senses. They're still learning through touch and through play and through interacting in an activity with kids who are older than them.
Kind of like
they're
still being creative.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. So they will catch up in their time, I guess.
Exactly.
I think to add on to that too, for the basic or lower level kids, they can still entertain themselves because, you know, they're being exposed to it for the first time. Whereas for the more advanced learners, it gives them the opportunity to think outside the box or like build more things. So both are engaged.
Okay,
you know, and challenged as well. I find my advanced kids, I don't know about your class, but they ask a lot of questions and they're generally curious. So there's going to be a lot of why?
They don't want to get it wrong because they see you make the example or the end result of whatever the experiment or craft or whatever it may be. And then they're like, wow, that's cool. I want to make that. And then the kids who can understand better, they definitely ask more questions because they want to make that. They don't want to mess it up. They want to make it so that they can then play with it.
There's actually something that we've done from our STEM lessons. Excuse me, I'm running off camera quickly. I will be 1 second. Dun, 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 dun. So this is something that we make in our Earth Key English online STEM lessons with our students. It's a little mini catapult that students can use to flick things. I made the elastic a bit too tight the other day. But it's just using very simple materials, and we teach them a little bit about engineering and the forces why a catapult works. And then we sit down and we build like a little catapult. If you guys want to have a look,
we need to have
it's just made out of chopsticks, elastic, and a little plastic spoon.
That's 3 things.
3 things, and
something that will entertain them for
hours. Because we finished it so quickly, I got him to draw on a piece of paper 2 circles at the top and 1 big like dartboard at the bottom.
As targets.
As targets. So the 2 circles at the top would be either a plus or minus or a multiply or divide. And then you have different numbers in the target. And then you sit there with your catapult and you flick these little balls wherever they land. So you flick 2 balls. 2 numbers, you multiply or you add or something.
That's a great idea.
And he loved it, man. He was having so much fun. We finished, I think, making the catapult in about 20 minutes. And then the last 20 minutes was like, right, maths. Let's do maths.
Learning but having so much fun.
Learning but having so much fun.
That's definitely one thing to keep in mind with kindergartens is you can't make too intricate a project.
It's got to be fun.
Yes.
It's got to be a laugh factor.
They can make and complete and still play with.
Yes, exactly.
Because the end result, you know, you must allow them to play with it so that it's rewarding for them to finish something first of all. And second of all, if they can play with it, take it home, show mommy and daddy. That's exactly what it's...
So one of the things that we do with our STEM programs is, first of all the materials are easy to find. A lot of them are household materials that you can use just to make...
That's important.
For the kids to have fun with. And then a lot of the time is these kids, at the end of their lesson, I tell them, right, now you have to go and repeat the experiment for mommy and daddy. Whether it's putting shaving cream in a jar and putting food coloring in. Clouds, liquid rain. We did that experiment with them.
I like that one.
I did that with my 3-year-olds.
They love it.
Yes, they do.
So I would teach them, okay, these are the steps, and we practice saying the steps in English, and I say, right, now you're the teacher, mommy and daddy are the students, go teach them how to do it.
That's awesome.
And it's great, man. This kid, his name's Ross, and he absolutely loves
I think
these
kids
lessons,
love
right?
it when they can show mom and dad what they learn. And
Oh,
it's also great because mom and dad can see what they're learning.
Exactly.
And they see the interest in it as well, because it's hard not to be interested in these fun things.
How can you not? You're 5 and you're crafting.
Yeah, exactly. So if you guys are watching and you don't know what STEM is science, technology, engineering, and maths learning as well.
All in one.
All in one, yes. So at Earth Key English, we actually include art as well. So we do a STEAM program instead. But it's nice because then both myself and Matt have an artistic side to us. So our product is called STEM with an artist.
Exactly.
I like that.
Because if you're going to be building stuff and being crafty, you might as well, learn about that side as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
And I mean...
And going to primary school and higher levels, all those subjects are something that you study. So
art is in every part of the...
Yeah,
every part of our learning career.
Yeah, and I mean, art
especially
is
at
not.
this age.
Yes, exactly. Especially at this age.
Kindergarten age, I mean, up until 10, 11, 12, kids are still just intrigued by just putting colors into something. It's just a great learning process.
And I mean, again, art transcends just painting and drawing and stuff, or coloring. Or, I mean, books are art, movies are art, music is a type of art. So we even have music as part of our art curriculum for our STEAM programs.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So I do think STEM it's honestly the way forward in education.
Yeah, I agree.
Because like you guys said, you're using your senses, it's very tactile.
People are finally making traditional learning fun.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that is exactly what kids need.
Yeah,
You've
we
just
need to get
hit the
away
nail
from
on
books,
the head there.
Paper and pencil, because it's such a boring way to learn. I remember being a kid and just hating being, sitting there
lines
listening.
and lines and lines and lines
Yeah.
and lines and
It's
lines
not
and no fun.
effective.
Yeah,
because it's not enticing.
Yeah, I agree.
know?
And I mean, I saw this post the other day on the wacky world of the internet, and it made so much sense though, because it was a photo of a classroom from like 150 years ago, and then a photo of a classroom now, and nothing's changed.
Really?
Kids are still sitting at desks, listening to a teacher talk, writing something down, taking notes. You know what I mean? It's not interactive. It's not. Doesn't let them express themselves and their true needs and their true talents.
No creativity.
Exactly. And I saw another post on the wacky world of the internet. There was a cartoon where it was a bunch of kids sitting at a table writing, and each kid had its own shaped thought bubble. So like one was fluffy, and one was a square, and one was a big circle, and the teacher's thought bubble was a triangle. And what was she doing? She was walking around the class, cutting everyone's thought bubbles to become a triangle. And I was like, this actually is a perfect description of a lot of the education systems around the world now, where it's just like, I'm the teacher, I'm always right, you listen to me, you write what I say, and in the exam you just parrot it out.
Exactly.
And I mean, kids aren't learning.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's not.
Yeah.
And moving into adulthood, what exactly do you retain from the education system? Exactly. Exactly. 5% maybe even in college, university.
Yeah.
What you
sets
learn
you up well, but it doesn't teach you the things that you really need to know.
But even the foundational, like I would say, I think we were talking about taxes the other month.
Man, exactly.
Like you don't even learn how to do your own taxes
are
and
non-existent
everything.
within school.
And I mean, in South Africa, they brought a subject in called LO, Life Orientation.
Okay.
And that subject was designed to teach kids about life and taxes and creating resumes and applying for jobs.
So that's awesome.
And it was a good subject.
It was,
That's what we need.
And one of the subjects that you had to study at university to qualify for it was psychology, which I think is so necessary in teaching.
Yeah.
And they pulled the plug on life orientation a few years ago.
Why is that?
They did. They said it wasn't needed in schools, or it wasn't worth it in schools or something. So some private schools are still keeping it because they obviously run on a different system.
Yeah.
But most public schools just took it out.
I feel like it would be great as an optional subject. You know?
Yeah.
Don't make it mandatory. Okay, whatever.
Like, let them choose it if they want to.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
I think I benefited from learning life orientation
I
in school.
definitely did, man.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I finished school, I already knew like how to do a resume, how to make it look nice. and
But
things
when
like
did
this.
you guys learn how to make a resume? Because I didn't do it until I studied business.
Mine
It
was
wasn't
at
in high
school.
school at all.
Mine was in high school.
I was in life orientation in high school.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't have that. We had
I
kind of
learned
like
how
home
to-
ec.
I learned how to do like spreadsheets about like some financial things. Like I learned how to basically apply for a bank account. Like
Oh,
Yeah,
Some-
wow.
we
I
some-
learned
wish
how
I
to
had
do
that.
budgeting and things like
budgeting,
this.
budgeting.
Budgeting was a good one, although I still suck at budgeting.
Yeah.
I think we all
That's
do.
a lot.
Yeah, that's something they need to have its
We'll
own
never
subject
learn.
on. The thing is, they label it as accounting at school, and everyone's
Yeah.
like, "No, I don't want to do accounting."
Yeah.
Oh,
I did
I think-
accounting actually. I enjoyed it in high school and studied
Yeah,
in
yeah.
business. I was like, I'm gonna be an accountant.
Ah.
After a year, I was like, nope.
No.
Yeah,
out
yeah,
the
yeah.
door, like,
Actually, you really did do a 180 flip.
Oh
eh?
yeah.
Wow. I mean, at least I was kind of on path. I mean, studying psychology at varsity and then coming into teaching. So
Yeah.
it's like just the one sidestep
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
I really didn't know what I wanted to do, to be
Mm.
honest. After high school, I didn't know what path to take.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to do something creative because I always loved painting and drawing and all that stuff. And I did music, so every like aspect of art I loved, and I hated science, I hated math, I hated anything that had to do with a textbook, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, my traditional parents are like, no, you can't. Just be, you know, a doctor, nurse, or a teacher, something like that.
Yeah.
And I never ever saw myself being a teater. I think a lot of ESL teachers,
I think a lot
Say
of
that.
ESL teachers say that. Yeah.
Yeah. but I feel like I should have just been it because
Yeah.
I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I love
again,
being in the
like
classroom.
I like that you said that you didn't know what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And something I want to make clear that to everyone that's watching as well, when you finish high school, you finish university, and you don't know what to do with your life, that's fine.
That's so.
There's nothing wrong with
okay,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
it happens
are
to all of us.
hundreds of adults
Yeah.
in this world that change their jobs at 50 years old
For
because they've been
sure.
depressed for 50 years, stuck in a job that they don't like.
Yeah.
Rather spend the time to go and explore and go and find who you really
Yeah.
are, and then you'll find a passion.
And I
And do
feel
it now
like-
when you have time.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yes.
I also think it's okay to, you know, switch your career path every
Yes,
so often
there's
because
nothing
like
wrong
dabble
with
into
that.
something you think you're interested in, and maybe that will make you realize you're interested in another thing, and
And when you find your passion, you'll know it.
you'll know exactly.
Exactly.
You'll know
Yeah.
it because you'll work the hardest you've
Yeah.
ever worked at it, and you'll just
And you'll
feel a
love it.
sense of honor
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
getting it
Yeah,
that right.
yeah.
Exactly.
You'll love it. You'll feel a sense of
Yeah.
honor, and this touches on another podcast we had a few weeks
Yeah.
ago about flow state consciousness. When you're doing something you're passionate about, you get into a flow state of consciousness where things become easy to
Yeah.
do and become natural to do
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah.
And then that's when your best results happen.
Yeah,
Of course.
for sure.
Yeah. But guys, so what does the future look like for you guys? Are you guys planning on staying in Vietnam or kicking it elsewhere?
I feel like the future
After Corona,
was-
of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say the
It's
pandemic
been
kind
put
of
on
hit
hold.
hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know about you guys, but I mean the year is almost over, and I had pictured this year to be something completely different.
Yep. I think
So
most of us did.
I do think that I'm going to be staying in Vietnam.
Cool.
I really enjoy the life here, and I've always wanted to live in all the major cities.
Oh.
Maybe spend 1 year here and then move forward, but it depends because
Yeah.
right now I'm doing something I really love. So yeah,
Cool, man. So maybe Da Nang on the cards for you next, eh?
That's in the cards for
Oh,
sure.
good choice.
But we'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah,
I think it's a perfect balance of both cities.
Da Nang is
Yes.
definitely on my watch list.
Yes.
Hoi An's on mine.
Oh,
yeah,
I love
yeah.
Hoi An.
Hoi
It's
An
my
is on
favorite
mine.
city.
Yeah. I need
I
the
could
beach.
live there. You know,
Definitely,
it's calm.
I can't comment. I've
That's
never
exactly
even
what I
been.
want.
Oh,
do
must.
yourself a favor when you have
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Explore.
Go, bro.
that.
We'll go.
Especially after the Corona things happen, because
Yeah.
they have Vietnam Airlines and Vietjet sometimes have specials where you can
Oh,
buy
yeah.
return tickets for like 800K.
Yeah, I know. I nearly did it once.
Yes, they're so
But
good.
Yes,
watch
I need
out
to
for the
do that.
taxes and
Yeah, watch out, they got
because
the-
that'll be more than the
Terms and
promo.
conditions.
Oh my
Terms
goodness.
and conditions.
So when I flew here, my actual flight price was $99K. and then surcharges, etc.,
Oh my
etc.
word, yeah. So it ends up.
So it really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
It was
That's
still
the thing.
very, very cheap.
Yeah.
Don't get me
They're
wrong.
basically saying for your piece of paper on the ticket,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
99K.
Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh no, man.
What about you,
And
Matt?
Matt, what you?
For me, I'm staying. I really love it here. I have no plans to leave. I'm definitely staying for the unforeseeable future because I don't have any other plan than this as of right now. I definitely want to follow through with my career here. I'm loving what I'm doing now. Also, I want to make sure that EarthKey grows as I want it to grow, and being submersed in the education field will just help me to do what I need to do with EarthKey as well. So I definitely don't have plans to leave right now. I would consider a different city, like Da Nang or Hoi An, because also growing up on the beach, I need to surf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Got to keep the
It's
smile
for
on
the
your
surf.
face.
Yeah.
You got to keep the smile on your face. And so I think I would consider moving cities, but right now as well, I'm very comfortable and I love my kids and my school and I'm comfortable with where I am now. So I'm actually proud of everything that I've achieved here.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've become a different person living in Hanoi, but a better person. So
Good, man.
I'm proud of it.
Can I just say something? It's
Yeah,
really
for sure.
great to see ESL teachers. You know, there's this stigma that ESL teachers, it's not a real job.
Yeah, we
And
just
people just do
travelers,
it. Yeah.
funny. Yeah,
I think we need to get away from that because I guess as people could see now, there are people here that are serious about the job
Yeah,
and that
exactly.
make a life out of it and then move forward with something
Yeah.
super awesome like your guys'
I know
business.
some people who've been here over 15, 16
Yeah.
years. This
Yeah,
is
exactly.
their
This is
life.
home. This is home
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They've chosen to immigrate and
Yeah.
they've settled in perfectly, immersed themselves and built a better life for themselves.
That's
And
right.
it's possible. Don't
It
don't
is
be
very
scared.
possible.
It's there's so much support everywhere you go. If you just
Yeah.
look in the right places,
Yeah.
there's support.
Speak to the right
and,
people,
Yes.
like-minded people.
And I
Yes.
don't mean
Yeah.
people giving you money. I mean just people who are saying, hey, there's a super good nachos at that place there.
Yes.
And one day you're
Yeah.
going to go for that nachos and it's going to give you a taste of home and you're going to feel
Yeah.
better. And eventually this
Adapt.
becomes home.
Yeah.
Again, man, the expat communities in a lot of countries you go to, they help each other very
Oh,
much,
yeah.
and you do.
Everyone's
are
on the
able
same
to-
page.
Exactly,
Everyone's away
yeah.
from home, away from their
Yes,
families, starting
yes.
a life here. So I think that's the one thing we all have in common is
Mm.
just trying to find home.
No,
And-
it's exactly
yeah.
that, and I
A
think
circle.
and I think
Yeah.
people tend to gather with each other to create a home together.
Exactly.
And they
Of
do
course.
like.
Yeah.
I mean, I know me and some of my friends, we do a Sunday dinner.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
once a month or
Yeah.
something, where one person will cook for everyone.
Mm.
And it's really nice because it is that like sit down family Sunday dinner
Exactly.
together. You know what I mean?
Bit of home.
Yeah, a bit of home, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. It was a
Fun.
pleasure having you. It's been
Thank
lots
you.
of fun.
As
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to have you join us on the podcast as well.
Finally, I got over my camera shy.
A little bit, yeah, definitely,
Yay!
man.
Maybe
Big
more to
lights
come.
and
Yeah.
lots of people.
Matt does so much of the back end designing that you see on Facebook. So yeah, thanks Matt for the beautiful
Yay.
artwork. Yay, well done.
Yay.
And Anna, thank you very, very
No
much for
problem.
joining. It was honestly a pleasure having you
Thank
with
you
us.
as well.
Before we go, is there anything you guys would like to say? Any tips or tricks for travelers or for teachers coming to Vietnam?
Just jump the gun and do it.
Yes, I
That's
like
it.
that.
Yeah,
That's
don't be
it.
shy. Don't be
Be
shy.
shy.
Commit.
Yeah.
Just commit. Go
Yeah.
big or
Yeah.
go home.
Yeah, go big or go home. I've
Yeah.
actually got that written there on my wall
Yeah.
as
And
well.
if you fail, you can always go home. Literally.
Exactly,
So what's there to
exactly,
lose?
exactly. So there's nothing to lose. Yeah. Cool. Guys and girls, thank you very much. It was awesome to have you, and we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.